The blue light is the first thing you see. It hits your retina at 3 in the morning. A cold, surgical glow reflecting off your pupils. You're lying in bed, thumb hovering over glass, scrolling through a life that isn't yours. Somewhere in the feed, a stranger is showing off a car they don't own, a lifestyle they rented for the weekend, and you feel that familiar, dull ache in your chest. It's not jealousy, it's annoying sense of being left behind. You're trapped in the infinite loop of the scroll, feeding your brain tiny, addictive shards of dopamine, while the clock on the wall ticks toward another day of grinding for a paycheck that barely keeps the lights on. You think you're catching up on the world, but you're actually just dying in slow motion, pixel by pixel. But tonight, the silence in the room feels different. It's heavy. It's suffocating. You stare at the screen and realize you don't even know what you're looking for anymore. Your brain feels like a browser with 1,000 tabs open, each one consuming just enough processing power to keep you from ever finishing a single thought. You're tired of the noise. You're tired of the constant, low-frequency hum of digital static that drowns out your own voice. You realize, with a sudden, jagged clarity, that if you don't disappear, you're never going to become anything. You need to stop being a spectator. You need to stop being a consumer. You need to vanish. You leave the phone in the kitchen. It feels wrong, like leaving your own limb behind on the counter. The house is silent. You lie in bed and, for the first time in years, there's nothing to distract you from the shape of your own mind. It's uncomfortable. It's frantic. Your hand keeps reaching out into the dark, grasping for a phantom device that isn't there, a reflex born from years of conditioned servitude. You toss and turn, the silence pressing against your ears like deep-sea pressure. But you don't break. You let the boredom wash over you, raw and unadorned, until eventually, the restlessness gives way to a strange, hollowed-out peace. You wake up the next morning without the morning scroll. The world didn't end. The sky didn't fall. You just woke up to yourself. The first week is a war of attrition. You delete the apps, one by one. Each tab feels like a small rebellion, a severed connection to the digital tether. There's a physical anxiety of phantom vibration in your pocket that isn't there. You find yourself walking into a room and standing there, frozen, unsure of what to do with your hands. You realize how much of your life was built on the reflex of distraction. Every time things got too quiet, too heavy, or too real, you fled to the feed. Now, there is no flight path. You are forced to occupy the space of your own existence. You sit in your car, no podcast, no music, just the sound of the engine idling. The boredom is no longer a void, it's a sharpening stone. Weeks pass, and the pattern begins to shift. You're not just sitting in the silence. You're starting to interrogate it. You take a notebook paper, physical, heavy end. You start the audit. It's not pretty. You write down the things you're afraid to admit to anyone else. The laziness, the excuses, the pathetic way you've been chasing validation from people you don't even like. It's a brutal autopsy of your current identity. You realize your goals weren't your own. They were just fragments of other people's dreams that you scavenged like a vulture. You write them down, you stare at the ink, and then you cross them out. You're stripping away the layers of the false self, peeling back the skin to see what's left underneath. You build a cell. It's not a room, but a boundary. You create a space where the world cannot reach you, a sanctuary of absolute, uncompromising focus. Your desk is clean. No browser tabs, no ambient noisy, no secondary screens. Just you and the work that actually moves the needle. The first few days, your brain screams for distraction. It begs for a hit of the algorithm, a quick dopamine spike to numb the effort of thinking. You feel the physical resistance, a tightness in your chest that makes you want to walk away, but you don't. You sit, you stare at the blank page or the complex problem, and you hold the focus until the tension breaks. The work stops being a chore and starts becoming a ritual. You're not just doing tasks. You're building your capacity to endure the discomfort of mastery. The social pressure begins to rise. Your friends don't like the new, silent version of you. They call, they text, they wonder why you've gone dark. You see their messages piling up in the ether, and for the first time, you feel a sense of detachment. You realize your previous social life was just a mutual support group for mediocrity, a collective agreement to stay exactly where you were. You stop explaining yourself. You stop apologizing for your absence. You let the bridges burn because you realize they were only leading you to places you didn't want to go. The loneliness is sharp, like a winter wind, but it's clean. It doesn't carry the weight of expectations. You're no longer a participant in the social theater. You're a ghost in the machine, working while the city sleeps. The months start to blur into a rhythm of crushing, quiet intensity. You hit the plateau of frustration, that middle ground, where the effort is maximum but the results are still hidden beneath the surface. Everything in your bones tells you to quit, to re-enter the grid, to show everyone that you're doing something, to crave the validation of a like or a comment. But you look at your hands there, calloused from the work, not the screen. You're not looking for the applause anymore. You're looking for the structural integrity of what you're building. You treat the skill acquisition like a craft, a slow, painstaking process of carving stone. You don't need the world to see you yet. You're not done. You start to feel the power of the invisible. You're outputting 10 times what you were before, but you're nowhere to be found in the feed. You're like a high-tension cable buried deep underground and seen. But holding up the entire grid, you realize that ghost mode isn't about hiding. It's about preparation. It's about being so focused on your internal architecture that the external world becomes nothing more than a backdrop. You walk into rooms and you feel different. You're no longer looking for your reflection in other people's eyes. You've cultivated a core that doesn't oscillate when the environment changes. You've stopped being a reactive creature, constantly adjusting to the whims of the feed, and started being an architect of your own reality. The final phase isn't a destination. It's a state of being. You look back at the person you were 6 months ago, and they feel like a stranger someone you once knew. Someone who was so desperate to be seen that they became invisible. You realized the truth. The noise was never the problem. The distraction was never the enemy. The enemy was the part of you that believed you needed to be watched to be significant. True wealth isn't the number in the account, though, that too is changing. True wealth is the ability to turn your attention toward whatever you choose, without being yanked back by the leash of an algorithm. You are the sole proprietor of your consciousness. You aren't a ghost because you're hiding. You're a ghost because you've transcended the need for the spotlight. You've seen the other side of the screen, and you know there's nothing there but echoes. You don't owe the world your presence. You don't owe them a status update. Your identity is no longer a public commodity. It's a private sanctuary. You move through the world with a terrifying freedom. You can build anything. You can become anyone, because you've already survived the death of the person you were told you had to be. The cycle of the 9 to 5, the cycle of the validation loop, the cycle of the scarcity mindset, they've all collapsed. You're still there. You're working. You're building. And the world is completely, blissfully unaware of the transformation. That is the ultimate power. That is the blueprint. You didn't just cut the distractions. You cut the strings. And for the first time in your life, you are walking on your own ground. The screen is dark, the room is quiet, and the work is finally yours. You don't look at the phone when it lights up anymore, because you know the truth. You're not waiting for a signal. You are the signal.